What's up, guys? Now, when I first made this channel, I made a video about, you know what, I made a video about Black Widow not getting her own movie and whatnot. And that's originally what this channel was supposed to be, and it turned into more of a gaming channel. It was supposed to be all around entertainment, not just gaming. Well, it did turn into simply just a gaming channel, and that's probably how it's gonna stay unless I find something that I feel like I want to talk about, like this here. Now, I think Don Mancini may be going back to his original plans for Chucky going forward, starting with Cult of Chucky. Now, I don't really have a theory pinned out on this, but I do believe we will be seeing multiple Chuckies, and I forget where it was, but Don Mancini said that it would be taking more of a psychological approach to Cult of Chucky. Now, the little clips you're about to hear are from craveonline.com, the Chucky files. Now, these interviews were done in 2013, so 4 years ago, before Cult of Chucky was announced, probably before they had even started work on Cult of Chucky, to the best of our knowledge. But here is the first clip I'm going to play, and it's basically going to talk about the origins of Chucky, what the first Child's Play was supposed to be, and whatnot. So, here we go.
So we changed the title to Blood Buddy. Mm-hmm. Now, in my original script, the doll was not named Chucky, it was named Buddy. And is it time now to get into the differences between the script?
I think I want to, because you've talked about this before.
Many times.
That in your version of the script, Andy, the child who gets the doll,
yep.
It was more of a red herring. The audience wouldn't know for certain if it was Andy doing the killing or if the doll was doing the killing. Right. And in the film, it's clear from the very first scene.
Right.
How did you? Okay, let's just start there. Whose idea was it initially? Was it an executive? Was it director Tom Holland who said we need to be really upfront with this from the get-go?
I think it was David Kirshner's notion to do that. He was the producer on all of the movies.
Right.
It really depends on who you ask.
Right. What was the concern?
I mean, Tom may tell you that was his idea to do
totally
that.
his idea all the way.
John LaFia may tell you that was his idea.
But you're the one who's saying it's not yours.
It wasn't my idea.
Absolutely.
That aspect was not in my original script. The doll, Buddy, was not possessed by the spirit of a serial killer. Rather, he was the manifestation of Andy's unconscious rage, basically.
It's sort of a Forbidden Planet kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Or even, do you remember, what was that George Romero monkey movie?
Monkey Shines.
Monkey Shines.
Yeah.
That is a similar kind of thing, too.
Yeah.
Although I've written that script in '85, Monkey Shines wasn't until '88, so maybe George Romero ripped me off. Who knows? The doll had this fake blood in it. It's like one of the marketable. I just thought this was a fun macabre idea that would appeal to
I would have bought
kids.
It. Like a little bleeds a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And if you in the latex skin, if you're playing with it too rough and you drop it, the skin breaks. Then you have to go out and buy Good Guy Band-Aids. So it's just like a scam to get you to buy more products.
Of course.
But Andy, because he's this lonely little kid, doesn't have a father, his mother's working all the time, Chucky is his best friend.
Yeah.
So he cuts his thumb and the doll's thumb, and then that, archetypal rite of brotherhood mixes their blood together. Excuse me. And it's thereafter that the doll comes to life, whenever the kid is asleep.
Okay.
The doll comes to life and starts specifically going after the kid's enemies. His first target is the babysitter, who was Dinah Manoff in the movie. I think, whoever's idea it was, and I think it was David's, I think they just decided that it was better to be a little more black and white with the concept and have the division between good and evil clearer, I think. I mean,
Were they concerned it would be too scary or not as marketable?
Maybe not as marketable. I think that they, I felt it was more, my original premise was a little more intriguing, certainly more psychological. It was more of a psychological thriller. And I think it was more disturbing because if you're getting at these notions, the notion of like little children have rage that they're socialized into not expressing. I mean, if we do our job right as parents, they're socialized into that. But if you happen to have a supernaturally possessed doll at your beck and call to act that out, then you don't have to worry about it.
How much of the film, be it scenes or dialogue or ideas, remains from your original idea, whether or not it's the original draft?
Percentage-wise?
I think that's about it from that one. But there we can see that Don Mancini did not originally want to go with the whole voodoo aspect. He wanted more of a psychological, which, like I said, he has stated that, and I don't remember where this was, so I would have to find it again. He stated that Cult is going to be more of a psychological, where you really have to think, is Chucky doing the killings, or is Nika or Andy, now that we know for sure that Andy's going to be back. Now, I stated something just then, that he did not want the voodoo aspect, and once again, this is from the Chucky files. Go ahead and check them out. Too far. But this is from Child's Play 2 of the Chucky files, and
But
here
what's
it
interesting to me
is.
about this film is that you're writing it again, but you're stuck with all the things that they came up with in Child's Play 1 that you didn't come up with.
The voodoo mythology.
The voodoo mythology, Charles Lee Ray as a character, was that easy, hard to wrap your head around?
No, but I mean, by that point, I was on board.
Yeah.
And
you weren't writing thinking, I just sold my soul.
No, I didn't. I cannot be objective about this. Naturally, I felt my original concept was better. Legions of people disagree. So
Well, they haven't seen your original vision.
Well, they never will. But that's
not with that attitude.
I'm just trying to be generous to the people that came up with that mythology.
Right, no, and it's a lot of fun. I'm definitely not decrying it in any way. But it's interesting.
I'm decrying it.
Oh,
It's
well,
stupid.
there you go. Okay. But you embraced it.
Ade Due Tempola. But yes, we had.
Now, he was laughing, so it may have been hard for you to kind of understand what he said, but he said, or the interviewer said, I'm not decrying it in any way, and, Don Mancini, he's laughing, and he says, no, I am, it's stupid. So, there's that. We know he does not like the voodoo mythology. He actually didn't get rid of it, but he kind of downplayed it. And I think that's why he was trying to get rid of it with Seed of Chucky. And it was very, very minimal in curse. Alright, so, on to the final clip, which is, once again, the Crave Online. Or, wait, is it the Crave Online? Crave Online, the Chucky files from Child's Play 3. And like I said, it's all here on YouTube. Check it out. It's very, very informative if you watch if you are big fans of Chucky, like myself, if you're, just any type of fans. And this is where I believe the multiple Chuckies will come in. And this is from Child's Play 3, this interview.
Andy Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that based on a real person, or because that's a weird character?
It's not really based on a real
Wait.
person, but certainly as a kid.
Did I have that on the right? No. Sorry, that was the wrong point in time frame. Here we go.
But about how you brought Chucky back, and it was a neat idea. And here, tell me about when you killed him off in 2. Did you always plan to bring him back in 3 this way?
Oh yeah, I always knew that was going to be the way that they would. But my original intention, which we ultimately couldn't afford, was multiple Chuckies.
I always wondered that.
Yeah.
I never understood why they made multiple dolls out of that plastic.
Multiple Chuckies.
Oh man. I want to see that.
Well, who wouldn't? I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm still haven't let go of maybe Curse of Chucky 2 or whatever the next one is. Maybe we'll get to that because I just think that could be really fun. But it's always a cost issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. It's not confirmation, but it is very likely we could see multiple Chuckies in Cult of Chucky, just based off of these 3 interviews alone. Let's say this interview alone. But I mean, it's a very telling. 6-part interview, and they're all 10 to 15 minutes long, so it's a good hour-long interview. Sorry, with Don Mancini. And as I said, it's not confirmation, but it is highly likely that we will see multiple Chuckies in Cult of Chucky. That's all I got for right now. If I come up with anything else or I see anything else, I will let y'all know. Have a good one.